Hey guys, Boo here, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on basic Blender movement and tools, as well as creating the first model. In my case, I'm going to be making a shield, and I'm going to be making a crest shield that looks like this. It's pretty basic, won't take too much work, and it should be enough for me to show some of the tools when creating models with Blender. And my next video I'm going to show how to create a UV map for that model, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so opening up Blender, you get greeted with this. The middle mouse button, if you scroll up and down, you get to zoom in the camera. If you hold the middle mouse button, then you can rotate your view, like this. If you shift and then press the middle mouse button, you can pan the view. This is pretty important. You right click to select objects. Left clicking changes the location of this little circle here, just don't worry about it too much. Over here on the side you get to do all sorts of things to your models. You only really need to worry about these two sections right here, tools and create. And we won't be using most of this here. When we will, I'll explain everything. Now, Blender has two different object modes, and this is either object or edit mode. What object mode is, it lets you select different objects, and it allows you to apply things to it. And then we have edit mode, which you can either go to by going here, pressing edit mode, or you can just press tab on your keyboard to swap between object and edit mode, like this. In edit mode, it lets you actually edit the model, so you can right click and select different vertices and just push them to wherever you want. Now, you're not limited to just selecting vertices. You can also select edges through this menu that's right here. You can click on the edge like that, and if you want to select the face, you click the face one here, and you can actually select the entire face. This, as you can see. Now, you're not limited to just one selection. If you hold shift, then you can select multiple objects or faces or whatever. You can do the same with vertices. You can select multiple vertices at once. So, if you want to select a lot of things that are already in the view, then you can either you can press B, which will create a bounding box, which you can just left click to move, but it won't select the things that are behind it unless you have ticked this little button here. This button lets you see behind the model, as you can see, and it lets you select objects, things that are behind them. So in this case, if I do that bounding box again with B, and I do this, now it's selected the entire model. Now you don't also need to use B. You can press C, and it creates a little brush that you can use to select objects, and this can help if there's a lot of them and you want something more precise. And again, if you make a mistake and you want to deselect something, you press the middle mouse button, and you can change the size of the brush with the scroll wheel. And everything else that regards to edit mode and object mode, I'll get into when I actually start making the model. So I'm going to start by deleting everything in this in the room. I'm going to press A to select everything, and just press delete and enter. Now, I'm going to import this image that I have here of a crest shield, and I'm going to have it here in Blender. Now, you can, if you see this little plus sign here, you can click it, and this opens up a completely new menu. And you can also open this menu by pressing N on your keyboard to swap between. Now, I'm going to scroll down this menu, and I'm going to go to background images. I'm going to click the little arrow, add an image, go to open, and now I'm just going to find the picture very quickly. I believe it is somewhere in here. It is there. Now you won't see the picture until you go down here to view, you press top, and then you can you have to go to here, change between perspective and orthographic mode, and once you switch to ortho mode, you should be able to see the picture. As soon as you move the camera, that picture is going to disappear. In case you're wondering what orthographic mode and perspective mode looks like, this is in ortho mode, this is in perspective mode. So as you can see, it's a difference in the in the view. So I'm going to go to the top here. You can use numpad 7. I don't have a number pad on my keyboard, so I can't do that. And now that I have the picture, I'm going to center it using Shift N. And I also kind of want to, oh no, it's good. So press N, and let's start creating the model. So I'm going to go ahead and go to create and create a cube. And obviously this is going to be a bit thick, so I'm going to press S, in edit mode. I'm going to press A to select everything. I'll press S to scale the object, and I'll press Z so I can fix it onto the Z axis like this. Yeah, scale on Z. And if you want to be more precise, you can actually type in a number. For example, 10 to make it 10 times bigger, or you can do 0.5 to make it half bigger. And again, if you press X, Y, or Z, it forces it to only move on that axis. So I'm going to scale it down a little and make it thin, because shields are not supposed to be really thick metals. And I'm good with that. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to face select, and I'm going to select the little face here on the side of the cube. And I'm going to press G to grab the thing, and I'm going to move it over here to the center. And you're going to see why in a bit. With this here in the center, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to put it here. Now I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to move it. Whoops. I'm going to move it upwards a little. I want to get it there in the picture. Now I'm going to select these vertices up here. I'm going to move them a little till I'm satisfied with their positioning. Okay. I'm decided to change this a little. I'm going to do like this. Alright. Now I'm going to press the face select, and I'm going to press E, which extrudes the face out. So now we have an extra face like this, as you can see. And I'm just going to extrude it outwards like this. And I'm going to go to the vertice select and move my camera a little. And now I'm going to select this vertice here, this vertice here. I'm going to press Alt M, and I'm going to press at last, and this will move the vertice. It will merge them. So at last, and I go back to the top view, and that is okay. I am not too happy because this has a bit more of a curve to it. So I'm going to edit this a little. I'm going to move this on this axis like this, probably like that, like so. And I'm going to extrude this out again. I'm going to select this face, shift it over a little like this, and extrude it out. Move it like that. And I actually have to do that with the other one, sorry. So I'm going to select this other face and extrude them both. Otherwise they're not going to be merged, which is going to be a bit annoying to deal with later. And whoops, grab on Y like so. Yes. And then finally extrude until it's at the Y axis. And I'm just going to select this, move it right there, and I want this to be also here. While I'm at it, this one can also move a little to the there. Alright, so we're getting some progress done. I'm going to now select all the bottom faces here of the shield, and I'm going to extrude this downwards. And while I am doing that, I'm going to make a few cuts like this, as you can see. And I'm just going to reposition these last two vertices like that. And this one can move in a little like that. This one can move in like that. I'm just going to keep doing this to extrude it out. Grab this vertex right here. Yes. Extrude it out. And it's just keep going with this. extrude, grab it on there, extrude. Now I'm getting to the point where the faces seem to be getting closer to one another, so I'm going to shift them a little, one by one, and I'm just going to move this like that. Yep. You won't have to worry about this too much because most of the players are going to see it flat. So go here, going to extrude down like this. I'm going to make one more like that. I'm going to select everything and scale it on X. Make it like this. X. Scale on X. Okay. And finally, extrude one last time. And I'm going to press Alt. I'm going to now disable the see-through menu here. I'm going to select these faces in this order. Oops. This order. Alt M at last. And then again these ones in this order. Then at last. And now we have half a shield. Whoops. Now the only issue with this is that it's not quite aligned with the y-axis because I want to have this exactly at the center so that I can mirror the shield. And you're going to see this in a second. Now because I have this see-through not enabled, I can only pick the top vertex even if I do the area selection. So I'm going to enable the see-through and start moving everything. So I want to have this as centered as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. We can correct any issues later. They will be automatically fixed. But it's better to have it as close as possible than to have it not at all. So keep moving this like so. Okay, whoops. One. Okay. I'm happy with how that turned out. So now we have half of our shield. I'm going to select everything. So I'm going to press A twice. Well, just once. And I'm going to press Shift D. And this duplicates it. And now if I press X, it lets me move it. Now I'm going to press S, X, -1. And as you can see, I inverted it. And I'm going to now slowly move this here and try to get them as centered as possible. Now you might notice that they do have different shading. And the reason for this is because the faces got turned inside out. So to fix this, you need to go to Shading, UVs. You need to press Flip Direction. And trust me, you want to do this because otherwise you're going to have some really weird issues in game. So now that this is all good like this, it looks like a shield at least. I'm going to press A. I'm going to go to Tools down here and press Remove Doubles. And I'm going to increase this number here because it removed 0 vertices. Increase it, and it removed 16 vertices. Now our shield is almost centered. As you can, what this did was it found the faces that were really close to each other, and it's set them as one. So now our shield is mostly merged together. There are some faces that are just too far apart. So we're just going to have to keep increasing this number here until everything is fixed. Removed 6. Almost there. If I can S on X like this, now I can press Remove Doubles and problem solved. And yep, so there's our basic shield shape. Now we're missing two things. We're missing a handle, and we want to make the shield curve out. So I'm going to show how to do all of that. I'm going to start by making the shield a bit more curved. So in edit mode, I'm going to go to the front view of the shield, and this picture is going to get a bit confusing, but as you can see, we're looking at the front part of the shield. And so from the front view, I can press N and disable the picture right here by unticking it. I'm going to zoom in a little, and now I'm going to select all the faces except the ones in the middle, like this, with see-through enabled. I'm going to rotate this by pressing R. I'm going to rotate it by pressing R. Sorry, I want the view to be, where is it? Sorry, front. So rotate, I'm going to press on Y, keep it in this axis here. I'm going to rotate it by maybe 3. No, that's a bit too little. So rotate it by 6 on Y. And now G to grab it, press Z to move it there. And I'm going to just select all this here, R on Y, -6, then G on Z, and move it down. And want to have it as centered as possible. And as you can see, our shield is already starting to take a curved shape. Now obviously I want it to be just a bit more curved on the sides, so I'm going to go to top view, going to select using the brush tool and select these faces like this, like so. Then again from the front view I'm going to press R on Y, going to move it just a little, maybe by 2, G on Z, down like so. And as you can see, it's a bit more curved like that. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. From top view, select these vertices right here. Then from the front view, grab on Y and -2. Rotate on Y, -2. And grab it on Z and move it down till it's about right. And now we have our basic shield shape. I'm going to go here and where it says shading, I'm going to press smooth, and this is going to look a bit more smooth. As you can see, it's having some small issues here with the smoothing. It's not too big of a deal, and usually in game it gets fixed, but in case it doesn't, you can always triangulate the faces. I'll explain that some other time. It's not a big deal right now. And now finally we just need to make the little handle for the shield. So I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to create an icosphere, and I'm going to change the subdivisions here to 1. This should be more than enough. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this, because we won't be needing that much. Grab it on Z like so, grab this on Z like so, flatten it out a little and scale it down. And we want to have it as centered as possible, like this. Z, grab on X, grab on Z, and this is just a basic shape. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Actually, I'd rather have this side like this. So move it down like this. Yep. And duplicate, Shift D, move it down like this. Rotate on Z 180 degrees. Okay, gonna move it a little bit closer, like so. And I'm gonna press these faces here and these faces here. Now I'm going to press E and extrude them out. Well, sorry, I'm gonna press E and scale them. Ooh, this is gonna get a bit annoying. So wait, hold on. I'm gonna select these faces separately. This is able to see through because it's gonna get a bit annoying. I'm gonna press E and I'm gonna press scale. Let's say 0.6. Yeah, that seems about good. And I'm gonna move this by 0.5. Whoops. Grab it, move it on Y. And I want to do about 0.05 negative. I'm going to do the same on this side. So scale, extrude, scale 0.6, grab on Y 0.05. Now I'm going to select these faces here, extrude them out, and I'm going to just make a few more extrusions. Don't worry, I'll explain why. Okay, next I'm going to select these faces up here, and I'm going to rotate them 90 degrees on X. I might need to do that negative, yeah. Rotate on X 90 negative, and I'm going to grab it and push it in like this. I know this looks really ugly, don't worry too much about it right now, you'll see what I'm doing. Select these faces right here, grab on X 90, whoops, R on X 90, grab it, move it in like this. Okay, now I'm going to enable see-through, and I select these ones, rotate on X, grab it on Y. Now it's starting to get a more curved shape. Grab this, just a second. So rotate on X, and as you can see down on the left corner, there's a little text saying rot. You might want to keep track of these numbers for this. In this case, I rotated this one by 40 negative, and I'm going to grab it on Y. Let's see, I moved it 0.2 negative. So again, with this one, rotate on X 40 degrees, grab on Y 0.2, and I'm going to select these faces again, move it down a little, and I'm just going to select these ones here, these ones like this, the edges. I'm just going to grab them, move them up a little, rotate them on, let's see, since I'm grabbing both of them at the same time, I'm just going to do like this. Next, rotate this on X, let's say 10 negative, no, rotate on X 30 negative. Okay, then rotate this on X 30 degrees. Now I can select this entire region here, rotate this on X 30 negative, then grab this, rotate on X 30, and I'm going to grab this on Y, move it down by 0.12, grab it on Z. I'm not liking this too much, hold on a sec. Rotate on X 30, right? And I'm just going to grab this down a little. This is going down by 0.06. I'll move this same thing. But grab Z 0.06 like so. I'm going to select these two, move them down like this, move them towards each other. So scale on Y like so. And yeah, it's not quite correct yet. Don't worry too much about it. And yeah, this can work as a handle for now. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to press this button. I'm going to select the two faces that are in the middle. I'm going to delete them. And now I'm just going to simply pick my poison. So I'm going to select here, Alt M at last, here, here, Alt M at last, here, here, Alt M at last, here, here, Alt M at last, and finally here, here, Alt M at last. And now we merged the faces, as you can see, and this is all now one object. So now we have our shield basically almost finished. I'm going to select the handle. I'm going to press Shift, select the shield, Control J, and this joins them as one object. So now if I don't select anything and select the shield, I have both things selected, and if I press Tab, it's going to have them both in edit mode. And obviously this one looks different to that one because of the shading, so let's just press smooth shading again and your problem should be solved. Alright, so now that we've made our basic model, in the next video I'm going to show how to UV map it. Alright, thanks for watching.